Have you been wondering, no matter how much you try to resolve your child's tantrums, it may not help, it doesn't help sometimes, or no matter how much you try to make her understand what the need of the situation or need at that moment is. Maybe she needs to do something and just not able to make her get that point, make her understand that point. Or maybe no matter how much calm you are to try to calm down your child's cries, still sometimes doesn't work out, right? Maybe your child is even more becoming even more doing whatever your child was doing at that moment, which you think it is adamant, right? How much, no matter how much I try to please my child just doesn't give in, right? He's so adamant, he's so strong-willed, he just doesn't give in. Have you been having such questions in your mind? Then let us look at this phrase today. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. That means, however is the feeling, so is the reality. So, what can you learn from this phrase in your parenting journey? The point is this: yes, maybe your child is watching a video, or your child is playing something with building blocks or Lego kit or something like that, and then you are trying to call your child for meal time. Yes, your child may not be coming immediately, right? Or maybe there is another instance where your child has started crying for something, and you are trying to justify why you are trying to, again, not ignoring and diverting, as I told you in my previous session, but you are trying to connect to your child and see how you can help your child with it. Still, your child is continuing to cry, or your child is just not coming to you, or your child is just not listening to your words, your whatever you are trying to speak, right? Yes, this happens at times. This happens at times that you are attempting to resolve it. It's not that you are ignoring, it's not that you are diverting. You are attempting to resolve whatever it is in your hand, but still the child is seems to be not coming to you, or seems to be not listening to your words, not hearing your words, not trying to understand your words, right? So again, when you're doing this, so when you are actually trying to put up a nice face using nice words, trying to calm your child, yes, you are doing this, you are using nice words, your actions are all pleasant, good, but do you notice what your thought is inside your mind, or what your feeling is inside of you, right? So what yad bhavam tad bhavati means is, however is the feeling, so is the reality. Such is the reality. Now, yes, you are trying to connect your child, you are trying to calm down your child, you are trying to put up a nice face, you are trying not to yell, you are trying not to scream, you are trying not to spank your child. But inside your head, somewhere deep inside of you, the feeling that you have for your child at that situation could be, could be not in alignment with what you are doing to your child at that point of time. So, no matter how pleasant you are acting outside, the feeling that you have inside of you creates the outcome, creates the result. Let me give you some examples. Now, yes, as I've told you, some things that could be happening. Maybe your child is endlessly crying. Maybe your child is endlessly crying, and you are trying to calm down again. Yes, you are doing all that you can at that point of time. But inside of your head, you are feeling, you are thinking, Array, how much ever I try, she'll never come back to me. It's better to leave her instead of trying so much to actually calm her down. I think it's better to again leave her and ignore her, just as how that the other parenting tip has told me to do, right? Or um, I'm trying so much to please her, or I'm trying so much to make her understand, but she is not ready to come to me. She's not willing to hear what I'm saying. But she is always like this. She has always been like this. Even during infancy, I remember when I was trying to feed her, she just didn't give in that. Or even when she was 1.5 year old, you try to recall some of the other situations, right? The other experiences which you've had with your child, and you kind of keep connecting them. There's a monkey mind. It takes you through these flow of negative experiences, filled with negative emotions, filled with disturbing emotions, and you are framing your thoughts here in the mind. She just doesn't listen to me. I think no matter how much I try, it doesn't help me. Right? The more and more I say this, the more and more she's becoming adamant. The more and more I am trying to get close to her, the more and more she is trying to go away from me. All these good things doesn't work out. What works out is just something that I do instantaneously to make my child do what I want her to do. This doesn't give me result. I can't be so patient, right? So when you are having such thoughts in your mind, you are having feelings of of making unsuccessful attempts, of your child not hearing out to you, of you, of however how much ever you are trying, it is not working out for you, right? You have such feeling, then that is a reality. That's all. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. So let me explain to you again what this means. So I have a beautiful course called Mindfulness for Parents, which is again included in my bundle of courses. So parents who come into this community, to my inner community, they go through this mindfulness course, and yes, it actually stirs you up. So yes, let me just explain to you how your feelings create your reality. So again, scientifically speaking, spiritually speaking, psychologically speaking, this is the sequence of events that happens. Listen to me. First, you have thoughts in your mind, right? You have some thoughts in your mind. And then these thoughts that you have in your mind are turning out to be feelings. You feel maybe good about it. You feel bad about it. You feel maybe it's not working out, right? Those are your feelings. Your feelings turn out to emotions, right? Emotions. That is the emotion that you are having inside of you. Remember, these feelings and emotions and all, mainly emotions, they do not, you do not take them in, or you do not have these emotions through any of the five physical senses. They are not happening to you on the physical plane. There is another plane, the emotional plane, right? The feelings that you have, they are converted to, or they are turned to emotions. The emotions that you have at that point of time is what is driving you, or is what is creating a behavior out of you. That means that you are taking an action based on the emotions that you have inside of you at that moment. That is the reason there is this very famous advice that whenever your emotions are low, don't try to take any decisions at that point of time. Why? Because the kind of action that you take at that point of time, the kind of behavior that you would have at that point of time will definitely be low, right? Your action is directly proportional to emotions, putting it in mathematical language. And then yes, after you have some actions at this point of time, that means you have behaved in a certain way, and that is what is creating a reality for you, right? So thoughts turn into feelings, feelings turn into emotions, emotions turn into actions or your behavior, and then that is what is creating an outcome for you. So when you are with your child, what is the outcome? The outcome is the kind of beautiful relation that you have with your child, right? The outcome is um, you trying to understand your child trying to understand you, right? Outcome is some kind of cooperation happening between you and your child, right? In the perspective of parenting, that is the outcome. If you are focused, or if you wish to have such positive outcome, then definitely it needs to start with positive thoughts in your mind, because that is what are the thoughts that you are carrying are what is creating feelings within you. The feelings are creating emotions within you. The emotions are making you take certain action, right? And that is what is creating an outcome. Let me give you a beautiful example. So yeah, just imagine you're speaking to your friend, right, who you lost contact with for the last 7 years, very, very close friend, and you've just lost contact with her for the last 7 years, or maybe 8 years, even 8 years, right? And suddenly she just dialed in, and you got a call from her, or you dialed her, and you got a call from her, and then you're having a very beautiful conversation, recalling all your pleasant memories that you had with your friend, and you are very pleasant, you're feeling good, right? The emotions that you have are happy emotions. Everything is good, everything is good, right? And then after you've spoken, you were on that call for maybe 30 minutes or 40 minutes, and then after that, after putting down the phone, You just walk in to see your child, and your child has maybe smeared paint all over the hands, and maybe a little even spilled on the floor. And maybe you are pleasant at that point of time, so you are just happy about it. And even when you are speaking on the phone, even though you have noticed that your child is actually doing it, you are like, okay, that's fine. You were just thinking to yourself, that's fine, let me just focus on my conversation with my friend here. I'm enjoying this. I'm so glad I got to connect with her after so long, after so many years. I can clean that later, I can clean that later, right? Your thoughts were these at that point of time. And after you put down the phone, yes, everything was good. You were feeling good. The feelings were good. The emotions were good. And then you said, okay, that's okay, beta. I'll just wipe it out. And maybe even you can help me. Let's create a activity of cleaning here, clean up activity, clean, or something that you do at that point of time. Yes, everything went well. Everything was cool. Now, another day, say 2 days later or 3 days later, you are overloaded with kitchen work, housework, right? Kitchen work, house cleaning work, and all that you have, all the random things that we have. Or you are even overwhelmed with your office work, right? So you're just so much deeply into that work that you just didn't have an eye on your child. And then say you spend 20 minutes or 30 minutes of doing this kitchen work, the washing utensils, cooking, office work, and all of this stuff. You were just deeply engrossed in all of this. And after that, you're just checking, let's see what my child is doing. And then you walk into your child, and there you see your child has smearing paint on his or her hands, and even some paint spilled over the floor. You were tired then. You were frustrated. You were overwhelmed. You were overloaded with physical work. You were mentally stressed, right? So, how would your reaction be at that point of time? Looking at it, you would immediately say, oh my God, what such a mess you have created at this point of time. I'm doing so much of my cleaning work. I'm doing so much of my kitchen work, and I'm already having so much of pending office work. And this is what you give me at this point of time. Oh my God, I just can't do all of this now. I'm so tired, and I'm so tired, and I'm so down. I'm just done with all this, right? Then yes, you may also have some kind of disturbing reactions, some kind of screams, yells, shouts, comparison. Oh my God, how many times do I tell you, you should put a cloth over the floor, or don't even pick up the paints. This is not the time to pick the paints, or whatever you are saying, and however you are saying to your child. You know it. The point is this: you have to know it. You have to come into awareness of what you are saying to your child. Now, so it was the same scene, child spilling over paint. It was the same two persons involved in the scene, the child and the mother, the child and the father, the child and the parent, but the reaction was different. The outcome was different, right? The outcome was different. Of the first scenario, the outcome was positive, the outcome was pleasant. But from the second scenario, the outcome was negative, the outcome was disturbing. Why? Because the parents' thoughts that the parent had in this scenario were very much different from the thoughts that the parent has at this scenario. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong to actually get stressed. It's wrong to get physically tired with all the work that you're doing. It's wrong to get overwhelmed with all the office work that you have. I'm not saying it's wrong. Everything is common, and everything is normal. But the first thing that you can do is come into awareness of what you are saying to your child. Come into awareness of what feelings you have within you. Come into awareness of what is triggering that thought inside of you. Some kind of disturbing thought, some kind of negative thought, right? It's the same scene, it's the same situation, it's the same people, same persons involved, but the outcome was different, right? The same thing even you also could recall in your own life. Maybe you just met with an accident, not a big accident, but maybe some person by mistakenly did something, and maybe at one point of time when you had to see that you encountered it, you were okay with it. You just said, okay, chalta hai. Maybe you were enjoying some music, some cool music, and somebody was pushing you in the bus, and you just okay, chalta hai, let me just focus on the music. But then another day, maybe you were tired of coming back from your office or somewhere. You are in the same bus. Some other person is maybe pushing you, or uh, not exactly pushing, but some kind of uncomfortable state that you are going through, and you react differently. right? You react differently. That's because the reaction that you are having or the action that you are taking at that moment of time depends on the thoughts that you have inside your mind, the feelings that you have inside of you, the emotions that you have inside of you. And remember, the thoughts, feelings, and emotions are something that do not enter your body or enter you. They do not enter yourself through any of the five physical senses. You are carrying them. So the first thing is, yes, you should come into awareness of what are your feelings inside of you when you are trying to resolve your child's cries. Yes, you are trying to resolve your child's tantrums, but what are the thoughts that you are having inside of you? What are the feelings that you are having inside of you? What are the emotions that you are having inside of you? How do you feel about that situation at that point of time? How do you feel about yourself in that situation? Do you feel helpless? Like, oh my God, I'm such a helpless parent now. I don't, or how do you feel about your child at that point of time? Right? Again, there are various aspects to your feelings that you carry at that instance. So, your feeling about anything is what is creating your reality, right? Your feeling about anything is what is creating your reality. When you are approaching your child to resolve certain tantrums or to just connect with your child, again, your feeling about this approaching to your child is what is creating the reality of whether, if you're thinking that your child is becoming more and more adamant, the more and more I am coming down to become lenient with my child, the more and more adamant my child is becoming. All of this doesn't work. This positive thing, this positive and all these things don't work, right? It's about what thoughts, what beliefs you are carrying inside your mind. I hope this adds value in your parenting journey. From the next, what I would like you to do, the action steps, what I would like you to do is the next instance where you are trying to reach out to your child, just come into awareness of what your thoughts are at that point or what your feelings are at that point. Do you feel good? Do you feel bad? You can just take it deeper and deeper at every other instance, at every next instance that you next interaction that you have with your child. Don't worry, life will give you enough interactions for you to learn about all of these, right? This is all a learning experience for you and even for your child. And the next action step, most importantly, is meet me live. There is a link in the description box given below. So just click on that link and register for my upcoming workshop where I will take you deep into all these spiritual and scientific concepts that happen behind the scenes in your parenting journey. You don't see them happening in front of you, but they're happening not in the physical plane, they're happening inside of you. And then the third action step is there is a link in the description box again below this video. You can download your free copy of Power Parenting Model when you click on that link. Cheers, stay connected, and let's meet live. Thank you. Bye bye.